Well, someone named Dekuscrub, very original, I know, made a video debunking my SML's 2019 problems video. I originally wasn't going to respond to the video at all. Heck, it's a difficult video to watch. More on that in a minute. But Corson watched some of it and told me that it was so bad I just had to respond to it. So I guess you can thank Corson for this video even existing. Anyways, let's get started. So before we even begin, there are a couple things we need to start off with. For starters, the video is in 360p. Why someone decided that in December of 2019 they should still be uploading in 360p, I have no idea. Does Movie Maker still default to that or something? So point is, if the video quality looks bad whenever I show some of his points, it isn't because I downloaded it in low quality to save drive space or something. I've known a couple commentary channels especially who do that for some reason, but in this case it's just because that's literally the highest quality it was originally uploaded in. For some reason this guy decided to basically play my entire video, then just splice in his thoughts. So why couldn't this have been a reaction again, Dekuscrub? Speaking of which, most channels that make commentary videos mention that they're going to be skipping parts of the video, or they have a skipping clip or something. Oh, speaking of which, I can use the skipping a section of the video clip again. How long has it been again? Well, anyways, let's get into the video. Okay, so not the best intro ever, but... And muting!
So to my fans who don't know who dabhdude is, here's who he is in a basic description.
Of someone who is always right. He has all the most correct opinions. Everyone who doesn't agree with him is wrong and has bad taste.
Now I know that's a bold claim to say about anyone.
Wow, you're right, that is a bold claim. It's a very bold claim to label me as the guy claiming I'm always right. No, I'm not, and I don't think I've ever claimed to be. I've been incorrect about things before. Whether it comes to information I've received only to find out it's false, my opinions have sometimes changed, and so on. But I don't think, save for maybe a couple jokes, that at least my opinions are the be-all end-all, I'm right, you're wrong type of thing. But I'll get more into that later. Or I guess two problems we can discuss. The character variety this year's been lacking.
This is something I always wanted to bring up ever since you brought this up, but why do we need the old characters? Yeah, besides you wanting them back, why do we need them?
So first of all, you might have noticed that when the portion with my video played, it was surprisingly higher quality. That's because I spliced my high quality copy in because... just look at it in low quality. Also, man, can you fix your mic? I know I'm not perfect either with my audio mixing, but with the music on, it's hard to hear you. Now, as for the question, with how many characters Logan has that he can use versus how many he does, it'd be like Masahiro Sakurai announcing an update for Smash Ultimate, where every character but the original 8, not even the unlockables, from Smash 64 are now the only ones you can play as. No, it's not like the other characters are gone or something. They're still fully coded into the game files and everything. You just aren't allowed to play as them. Or I guess if we want something closer to the whole new SML point, you're only allowed to play as the newcomers in Smash Ultimate. The reason we need more character variety, even though I thought this was obvious, is because it can create new scenarios and interactions between characters. And even if every SML video with Junior and Company, Jeffy, etc. was absolutely perfect, they're not. The same characters, especially knowing that there are other characters that could be used and just aren't, is really tiresome. Point is, having some of the old characters back could quite literally revitalize some otherwise rather bland videos. I mean, we all know exactly how Mario will interact with Jeffy or Brooklyn Guy, so why not replace Mario in that situation with Woody or Tony the Tiger?
Especially since those old characters are boring, not funny, or just not interesting at all, so...
Wow, I bet I couldn't think of any characters that are boring, not funny, and uninteresting, like Jeffy, the funny puppet that has damaged the channel far more than any other character could ever hope to. Jeffy's main problem recently has just been how much his jokes are repeated. I mean, he's getting better, I guess. Now he isn't awful, now he's just kind of boring with the occasional awful moments. But part of the reason he's so boring is because when a character is in the same location doing the same haha totally funny things that he's been doing for months or years, it gets boring. Even some of the old characters' reactions to Jeffy's unfunny antics would make things funnier. Oh wait, sorry, that's right, the old characters are boring and unfunny. You know, despite the fact that some of the best videos on the channel featured the old characters being far funnier and more interesting than Jeffy could ever hope to be. In fact, that's another reason why I like some of the old characters. Their entire personality isn't just one note. They have some actual depth to them. Sure, they have main character traits, but that's not their only character traits. I know I'm always talking about it, but Baby Shrek is one of my favorite SML videos for a reason. It's a video that, especially near the end, really builds on Shrek's character. And oh, hey, Woody! He has more to him than just hunting shrimpos. And what about the bird? Woody takes care of Skittles in that video. And yes, there have been attempts at making Jeffy into something more interesting. The problem is videos like that usually involve Jeffy having a big change in character, which would carry into future videos. But instead what we get is, oh, he'll be a better character from now on. Haha, nope, just kidding, he reverts back next video.
Why do we need them again? I mean, the only one I miss is Toad, but of course I'd say that. I'm a 14-year-old. I'm young. I'm not allowed to have an opinion at that age.
I don't remember ever saying young people aren't allowed to have opinions. Sure, I make jokes about it sometimes, but I've never said if you're under X age you can't have an opinion. The puppet work here is just awful.
I don't think it's all that bad. What, do I need my eyes checked or something, Dab? Oh, fuck off.
What? I said I didn't like the puppet work. Also, you do realize that the whole getting your eyes checked thing is a joke, right? But we'll go more in depth with that later. Logan can't do character development very well, it seems, since he reverted Richard back to how he was before in the next video.
No, I don't agree with that claim. I'm pretty confident that Logan can handle character development.
Are you serious?
The reason Logan didn't develop Richard's character further was because if he did, Richard wouldn't be a fun character like he is now.
No! 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 Okay, seriously, no. Richard wouldn't have been a good character had Logan not developed his character more. So, instead we get a literal copy of Goodman. No, you know what? Who needs different personalities? Let's just make Richard exactly like his father. Seriously, I can guarantee you that every single scene Richard is in, aside from maybe the end of the first video, you could substitute Goodman in there, and it would play out almost the exact same. The only difference Richard has to Goodman is that Richard is a kid. That's literally it.
So, he had his cake and ate it too, by, you know, having a nice lesson about how money can't buy you everything, and keeping his character static and funny.
Because nothing says good writer quite like copying a character you already have, giving him some character development, then reverting the character back immediately so that character development just never returns. Yeah, who needs dynamic, interesting characters when we can have static characters that are in some cases literal copies of other ones? Right, Avatar: The Last Airbender? Get out of here with your character arcs and development. Make way for SML and its static characters. Heck, even SpongeBob has more dynamic characters. And SpongeBob literally resets after just about every episode. If that was how SML's content worked, that'd be fine. And in some cases it does. But even just taking Richard as an example, how would the characters know about Richard if the first video with him in it was just reset? Oh, hi random person I've never met because the previous video was retconned out of existence. Hasn't been that bad this year. Say what you want, even if the videos were dumb, most of them were at least original.
So why mention them in a video where we're supposed to be pointing out SML problems?
Because I'm going over some of the things I mentioned in the previous SML problems videos. Here I'm explaining how in terms of recycling plots, 2019 actually wasn't too bad with it. Till the very end where gravity does break. But it's too late because oops, the video's over.
So what potential do you think could have been put in the gravity episode? Oh, you don't have any? Oh, okay.
Dekuscrub? You okay? You kinda stopped talking there for a bit. Anyways, I've mentioned gravity a few times now, and how it could have been fixed. The reason I dislike the video so much is because it's the same joke over and over. Instead, have gravity actually stop working, or be significantly decreased, and see how certain characters deal with it, how life changes, etc. That'd actually be a creative idea, but instead we got Junior breaking a bunch of stuff. Wait, no, sorry, I'm wrong. Clearly that must be comedy gold, right? Bowser Jr. Learns Spanish is an El Dumbo video.
Yeah, and that's the point. And it's funny. Fight me.
Wow, we're not even a third of the way through this person's video. And no, repeating the same joke over and over for several minutes on end isn't very funny to most people. It just gets boring, especially upon rewatching it. I mean, if you found it funny the first time, okay, whatever. But it's a video you can never watch again because the video becomes boring and it just drags along. But the amount of filler videos this year has gotten pretty bad. Not 2017 levels of bad, but boy is it starting to get close.
Wow.
Back up, Jack.
So much. But in all seriousness, I can actually argue that the filler isn't that much of a problem because there are jokes in those filler episodes and they're funny and they make me forget that they're even filler. And if they can do that, then is the filler that much of a problem?
First of all, I only listed a couple of the filler videos, mainly for time. What, do you want a comprehensive list or something? And the problem is the filler is either the same joke repeated over and over, or nothing happens. Like the videos I mentioned in that segment, large chunks of the video are, well, just filler. Heck, Jeffy Gets Braces was almost all filler. Or what about Dr. Jeffy? Oh boy, that one is so funny! Like Jeffy being dumb and annoying to Mario, and Rosalina encouraging Jeffy to continue. And Jeffy being dumb and annoying to Mario, and Rosalina encouraging Jeffy to continue. And let's not forget, Jeffy being dumb and annoying to Mario, and Rosalina encouraging Jeffy to continue. Oh, but wait, we can't forget Rosalina crying and being annoying too. Pinnacle of comedy, folks! Too much, so he toned it down. But for a while there, it was just wrong.
Yep, and that was so necessary that it needed its very own little section.
Yeah, cause you're one to talk. You didn't even say anything of substance here. You just said, wow, that needed its own section. And yes, it did, since it was an important thing to talk about in my opinion. But if I'm going to be honest, they're actually not that bad.
So, why do we have this little section? I mean, I'm not even gonna talk about the parts that I don't agree with because it's obvious that we don't like the same things, but you know what, whatever.
Again, because they were mentioned in the earlier SML problems videos. They're fake so as to generate interest. Apparently a lot of merch websites do that.
Okay, it still doesn't diminish the fact that people are buying the merch and you can't prove that they aren't. So, why mention this?
I never said people weren't buying the merch. I know people are, and if they want to, they can. All I was saying here was that the pop-up saying someone had bought something from the merch store were fake so as to generate interest.
Okay, go ahead, feel bad. They think it's cool. Let them buy their shit. Why do you always have to be so negative? Damn.
I'm not saying they can't. I'm not trying to start a movement to shut down Logan's merch store or anything. Besides, I feel bad for people who buy stuff from the merch store, especially since I feel bad for anyone who buys something I think is overpriced and unnecessary. But I'm not going to get mad at them for it. I actually read the rules, but rather made assumptions off of other people's assumptions, and so on. Logan was one of these people.
Jesus Christ, can you cut this man some slack? He was just being prepared. God, it's like you have zero sympathy for him. Like, come on.
I mean, to be fair, it does bother me when people don't read the rules, make assumptions, and overall just hear through means of telephone game what they think will be the end of YouTube, and blah blah blah. The whole Kappa thing was so ridiculous. Oh, and the puppets wouldn't have helped Logan at all. In fact, they might have made things worse. Characters' puppets, he'd be able to make them cuss again. I don't know where he got that idea from, since whether they're puppets or plushes has no bearing on whether or not the YouTube algorithm or dumb boomer parents will care about it or not.
Probably because the characters aren't family friendly and they're characters that he made. That's probably where he got the idea from. Oh, and also, the demonetization problem has really not been that much of a problem, and parents, don't make me laugh. They're not gonna do shit. Oh, and by the way, did you just say fucking boomer?
They might be considered family friendly, is what I'm getting at here, because, again, dumb boomer parents think that puppets automatically mean something like Sesame Street. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I guess I'm not allowed to use the term boomer anymore, since the great Dekuscrub told me not to. Sorry guys, I tried. Designs were absolutely terrible.
Don't you think that's a bit of an over-exaggeration?
Haha, no.
I mean, the puppets look great in my opinion. Yeah, shoot me.
Well, it seems your credibility is now forever gone.
Ah yes, because nothing looks better than Rowley from Caillou, Chain Chomp, Bootleg Chinese Nerd, Trevor from GTA, and Bob, who goes to work every single day. And no, I'm not saying you're not allowed to like the puppets, but, I mean, you really think these are good, huh? In fact, even Logan has admitted to people in a group chat before that he hates some of the new puppets. I mean, surely these are such great and well-designed puppets that even the original creator of them ended up hating them, since I'm pretty sure they would be considered legally blind at that point.
You see how I feel that way, guys? You see how I feel that way? Fucking hilarious. 10 out of 10, Dab. So funny. So funny. I'm laughing my ass off.
Wow, that was funny too! On a more serious note, so many people took that as a serious thing, so I guess that's my fault for not being clear. The legally blind thing is a joke. All I'm saying is that even when the person who created and shilled for them admits they're terrible, yeah, there isn't much else to be said at that point. But for Logan, I guess he just took this as yes.
Well, he took this as an automatic yes because Logan put up a poll after the very first human video was uploaded, and he was like, "Are you guys liking the puppets?" And the poll said yes more than no. That's probably why he was like, "Oh, okay, I guess they like it."
And had Logan read any of the responses, he would have learned that most people were only on board because they thought the FTC was going to get him. Hindsight is 20/20, I suppose. Or because it was, sure, but please change the designs.
Seriously, check the community. Do your research, Dab.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Seriously, check the community. Do your research.
Say again?
Do your research.
One more time.
Seriously, check the community. Do your research.
Oh! Do my research? You mean like I did? And most of the replies and comments I saw were of people saying exactly what I just said? Also, that newer poll, which you just showed, contradicts you and proves my point completely. Everyone was suggesting that Logan changed the designs to something that doesn't hurt the eyes as much.
I mean, but that's how you personally feel. I mean, sure, there's people who agree with you, but there's also other people who actually like the designs. And why would Logan waste his time by remaking the puppets that some people still won't be pleased with in the first place?
For starters, let's face facts here. Most people don't like the puppet designs. I've said this several times now, but I guess I need to repeat it. Most people only liked the puppets out of what they assumed was necessity. I've seen very few people unironically say that they like the puppets and their designs. The next point he makes is virtually identical. Him claiming that others actually do like the puppets when pretty much everyone admits they don't like it, and yeah, you've heard this already. Any other points he makes about it, I'm just skipping, since you've heard enough about all of this. Speaking of which... Man, I missed that. And/or thinks that the big bad FTC is going to go after him and fine him tons of money. They won't.
I know I already proved why Logan kept using the puppets, but it really irks me how he thinks he knows what he's talking about.
If you mean about the FTC thing, well, I wonder who is right about that. But wait, I guess I've got my silly reading through the rules and how they to be applied versus your I heard from a guy who knew this 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 guy
who knew this guy who knew this guy who knew this guy who knew this guy who knew this guy who knew this guy who knew this guy who knew this guy who knew this guy's cousin.
that said that the FTC is going to fine everyone insane amounts of money and destroy YouTube. Just no. So while I won't play the segment, this guy just played the entire clip of me talking about the puppet designs, but put the word opinion on top of it. Again, this is something I talked about earlier, but this guy literally just took my video and played the entire thing, even if he didn't have anything to say about certain parts, letting the video play for sometimes over a minute uninterrupted. Hey, you know what skipping certain parts is? Especially if you're just repeating points.
Whoa, listen, Linda. The character design really does fit his character. Bowser is a lazy person who never gets out of his room and always watches TV. This shows in his design, where you see he barely has any form of decent clothes on, he has slippers on, and he doesn't look like he's seen a lot of sun. So please, stop making claims like that, because so far, that is the stupidest claim you've made so far.
Again, you're one to talk about stupid claims. No, this design isn't very reflective of Bowser's character at all. I don't expect Bowser to have scars, bunny slippers, and be constantly locked into one permanent expression, like, well, most of the new puppets. But hey, maybe that's just me. Joseph loses something.
Okay, I'm gonna just skip this part because I really get annoyed when people keep on bringing up the same shit and elaborating on the same shit I just debunked.
Wait. It's a miracle! He does know how to skip parts of videos! So, why didn't he do that for other parts of the video? You know what? I think I'm about done trying to understand this person's logic. It doesn't make any sense at this point. First of all, Logan can't do symbolism very well, let's be honest.
I mean, let's be honest, when was the last time he did symbolism?
Ah yes, another very insightful piece that couldn't have been skipped at all. Although, to be fair, Logan doesn't do symbolism, probably because even he knows he isn't good at it. No way is that real. Logan has more integrity than that. But it really goes to show just how far things have fallen.
And welcome to the biggest exaggeration of 2019, folks. I know, Logan has done a lot of questionable things, but to really think he'd steal? Come on. Really? Has your trust in Logan literally gone to zero? I mean, if it has, alright, but I still trust him, and that's what matters to me.
First of all, that wouldn't be stealing. It'd be reselling. Scummy? Yes. Different nonetheless? Also yes. And Logan's integrity has fallen to such a degree that I unfortunately wouldn't put it past him. Though, to be fair, I've been watching Logan's content since 2008, when you were 2 or 3. So I've seen how far Logan's integrity has devolved since then. Maybe it'd be different if your only experience with that kind of thing has been, y'all, the SML movie will be out by, insert another deadline he'll miss again here, or, y'all, I'm going to be adding back the old characters, but haha, not really, y'all. With the addition of the puppets, I've realized a couple of things. For starters, Logan doesn't tend to think things through.
You know what? I can't do this anymore. This is the end of the video. The rest of the video is him just spouting out bullshit of how Logan has changed and he's not the same how he is and he's evil or some bullshit. But I made this video for me. And why? Well, because I just wanted
Immense gratification that I will feel from shitting on him.
So basically, this is what I think about dabhdude in a nutshell.
Like I said, the reason I think Logan is degraded is because I know how he used to be. I've talked to the guy many, many times. I'd say I know the old Logan pretty well. And this Logan, isn't the same. He's not the same one I watched years ago, or debatably, even just a little while ago. Maybe 2020 will be the year where Logan returns to form, but I guess we'll have to wait and see, huh? Anyways, his final thoughts, which aren't even from him, are that I'm some elitist who thinks I have the only correct opinion, everyone else is wrong, blah blah blah. I already explained this at the beginning. An interesting point, however, is how it's mentioned that I should make my videos dedicated to old SML. But I've already done some of that, although perhaps I can do more of it. However, the purpose of the SML content on my channel always has been and always will be a few things. 1. Critiquing Logan, his videos, and his decisions involving his channel and videos. I do this because I care about Logan, his channel, the characters he's made, etc. I want to see him succeed. If I were just some hater of SML, I would have stopped by now and just left. 2. Even if I can't get through to Logan, I want others who watch to see my videos, primarily to start a discussion, and not a "you're right, I'm wrong" argument, and so that those who want to maybe follow what Logan's doing don't make the same mistakes he has made. Now, before we go, it seems Dekuscrub made another video posing the question, is dabhdude's criticism actually criticism? And I think all I need to show is this frame. Yeah, I think I'm done here. Thank y'all for watching, and take care.
Wow, it's amazing how many things can set a sea bear off.
They're horrible!
And suddenly, I have the sense we're all in danger.
Why?
I don't know. Just a feeling.